Greetings, YouTube. This is Brandon Hill here with Terrence Paxis, or Terrence Smiley Irritated for this go round. And together we are the creators of Wild Space Saga, the epic sci-fi action adventure series you didn't know you needed. And this is Wild Space Wildcast, made specifically to tell you exactly why you need it, and as we've been around for a hot minute in relative silence on DeviantArt, what you've been missing. But before we begin, take a moment to subscribe and hit that beautiful notification bell so that you won't miss a single bit of news, events, and live streams from our channel. Whether you catch us live or watching after the fact, we want you to join us on the Northwest Passage. And finally, if we pique your interest, links to our books available in paperback and ebook, as well as everywhere else you can find us on the social medias, are available down in the doobly-doo. And speaking of our books available on the social medias, here they are for those who have not seen them. These are the older designs. We have newer ones coming out. The first book, Between the Devil and the Dark. Second book, Wrath and Redemption. And our upcoming third book coming in May. It's coming very soon, people. Twisted Faith. Really great book. I was reading it myself, and I've been sitting there at work, sometimes just reading it over and over again. Some of my favorite parts. Has great character interaction, great story. And it's really gonna get you motivated to read more of our beautiful series. Thank you very much for gurning while we're doing this, Terry.
I want to see how long you could actually keep going and actually stay on track whilst I pulled faces.
Dude, I'm ADHD. I can hyperfixate on things, so that ain't gonna work on me.
Well, it was worth a go.
Well. See if we got any kind of chatters in it yet. Not quite yet, but we will be getting in soon. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, wish to apologize for us not being there last Saturday. We had something come up, but we're here today. We're doing a little emergency broadcast, and we will be back.
It's not an emergency broadcast. It's just it's worth keeping our momentum up and trying to make sure that what happened last Saturday was I had visitors, and so I wasn't able to get away.
I was using hyperbole, sir.
I know. But, it's not like we panicked and went, "Oh God, we must get a stream out."
No, we weren't panicking at all. But I just had to shut it down. So thankfully, you told me before it was time for us to get on, to start on. It's not that I couldn't do it on my own, but I like the dynamic between two people.
It was touch and go as to whether or not I'd be able to get away, and then when I couldn't, it's like, I'm gonna have to,
Yeah. Well, so by the way, that drawing I was telling you about before we started, it was about the feet thing, and so I'm going to be switching over to giving the Felians, at least the Rankia-Felians, so the ones that look more animal-like, that give them more animal-like feet. And then we just have the ones that are going to be, and of course, the Harakia. And those are the ones that are the original stock. And those are the ones that are going to have the more animal-like feet. But the ones that are hybrids for humans, and also the ones that look more like humans, the Ankia, they're all going to still have human-like feet. So that was what the drawing was all about. It was just kind of showing that she had paws instead of regular human feet. And just for the people out there to know, I was working on a drawing last night, and I use a program called pdnpaint.net. And it was acting really funky, and I probably should have restarted my computer. But me, like the genius that I am, I decided to just keep pressing forward. And so when I finally saved the drawing, it wouldn't save the drawing. It saved the drawing, but it didn't save it as a JPEG like I wanted it to. It still, for some reason, saved it as a PDN file. Something went wrong in the process, so it wouldn't open the file back up. All that work that I put in, I've been working on it for over an hour. It was a fairly simple drawing, but all that work that I put into it, I thought was gone. And so fortunately, as I told Terry, the internet provides. And I found a program that can convert PDNs to JPEGs and was able to recover the file. Thank God. Oh, I don't know. There is nothing like working hard on something on your computer and then your computer forking and losing the whole dang thing. I've had that happen with writing, and I've had that happen with drawing.
Yes, we were discussing that last week. That's why Law Diving with Pip is on hold at the minute till I get in a better mood with it.
Whether it's working...
That and there's just some more material I want to create for it before I knit it all together.
Yeah, whether it's working on something you're writing, drawing, or even if it's something you're working on making AI prompts for. Yeah,
video editing.
Oh, you were video editing, even that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was chopping the intro for the episode together.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot. Yeah, that'll bum anybody out, and definitely.
It's surprising how long it takes just to produce 1 minute of footage.
For me, video editing, whenever I have to do that, is always the hard part, the hardest part. That's why I'm loath to really start back up on doing any more little short comics, but I really have to, because I'm already prepping to work on something that's coming up that's really fun. For those people who want to know, we did a couple little short videos involving our main characters from the series that are just kind of introducing Wild Space Saga. And what we'll be doing is doing some video shorts involving different places and people in Wild Space Saga that just kind of that's a little bit of a showcase for the books that are out and are coming out. Oh, and speaking of the books, we did get an email from our publisher, and they did say that we ran into some issues when it came to getting out the. Did you get that email, Terry?
Which one?
The one that came out just a couple of days ago. The one that they were sending to everybody, saying that they had ran into some issues.
That, yeah. No, there's also the other two whinging on us about approving the typesets, which I thought you'd done a month ago.
No, I'll take care of that. Don't worry. We've been kind of neck deep in all the stuff we've been working on, trying to get our social media presence out there. So I'll go ahead and start on that today. And I need to actually start integrating the stuff that I wrote on paper into the freaking book. I'm so sorry.
I'm halfway through the next chapter for the current one now. I just sat down today because I got a brainwave on how I wanted to structure it, so I got on with it. Because I have everything plotted in my head, but it's translating it. I'll assume sometimes you get this same issue, but you're more of a pants person, so. But I know where I want to go with it. I know what I want to do, but sometimes I'll struggle to structure it, and that's what takes me a while.
Yeah, it's fine. You're like your style of writing, which is one of the things I think why the books come out so well. Is your style of writing is very, very similar to mine. So I'm able to integrate things really easily into what the stuff I write, the stuff you write. Only difference is for people don't know that there are certain differences in both spelling and also sentence structure and grammar in UK writing that are slightly different from American writing.
Yeah,
like
we use more S's than Z's.
Yeah,
which means we tend to question why on earth we have Z in the alphabet here, because we barely use it. And then you guys just sling it in where we'd have an S. And it's like, well, at least you're using it, I suppose.
Yeah. I think the only thing I like to use a Z for is zebra, or as you call it, zebra. So
Z. Yeah.
But
it's one of the funniest things I ever saw on Ford years ago. They had their Z-Tech engines.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, in the States where you are, it was literally just a Z-Tech. Z-Tech. Yeah, they had to respell it here, Z-E-T-E-C, Z-Tech, because otherwise we called it Z-Tech, and it sounds a bit shit, doesn't it?
It doesn't sound
You've got a Z-Tech engine as opposed to Z-Tech. So they had to respell it, Z-E-T-E-C.
So you remember on Stargate Atlantis, Rodney, he was Canadian, and a lot of the jokes kind of being Canadian and the way he said things. And when he would talk about ZPMs, or he used to call them ZPMs.
Yeah.
And I forget the girl. It was Carter, and she was always kind of laughing about how he pronounced it, and he's like, "What?" So,
well, my favorite thing is the opening episode, the pilot episode, where he's explaining how that works to O'Neill, and he goes, "Well, that was a waste of a perfectly good explanation."
Dang.
He's just explained how it all works to O'Neill, and he just looks at him.
Well, yeah,
that
O'Neill,
was a waste of a perfectly good explanation.
you may as well be speaking Mandarin when you start trying to go into the technical aspect.
Yeah, it's just one of my favourite lines ever in the across all the shows.
Yeah, Rodney was like one of the best characters in the entire Stargate franchise.
I think it's because he's a fantastic actor. It was so natural for him.
Yeah,
he was one of the most natural actors of the lot.
Love to play that. He would have been an amazing character, like in Star Trek as well, if he had ever been like in something like that. You think about it. It probably what's that dude in Star Trek? He's played like a ton of roles. Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah.
God, that guy's an amazing actor. I would love to meet him.
While I was on a low budget 80s horror movie binge a few months ago, he was in most of the ones I saw.
that dude's had a ton of roles. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten. I think it's probably because he just likes doing these smaller things. So,
sometimes I suppose you just enjoy acting. So,
well, I mean, like think about Rutger Hauer, for instance. He's actually a pretty decent actor, but he's been in like a lot of high budget things outside of maybe Blade Runner. And he's actually a really good actor. So there you go. And I think it's also just the fact that he actually likes doing the smaller things. Like Jeffrey Combs was a repeat guest on Star Trek.
Everyone was just like, as soon as you hear his voice, it's like, that's what he is this week, is he? Alien of the week, and it's Jeffrey Combs.
And he's played some of the best roles in those like Shran and Enterprise. That dude was amazing, because people had never really been able to nail down the personality of an Andorian, and Combs just did it. A little paranoid, but very honorable if you can actually end up becoming one of their friends. Like the best friend you will ever have.
I always did like that. Yeah, it was like, once they trust you, they'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it, in Strange New Worlds, the engineer. And he was an Enar.
Wait, who? Oh, the Anar, yeah, that dude. Yeah, but
he was in the first series.
Yeah, the blind.
I loved him. He was brilliant.
Yeah, he they made him a little combination of Scotty and Bones all together, because Scotty in that he really knew his stuff and was incredibly dependable, even over the he was like an alien MacGyver, but he was crotchety and complained all the time like Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really sarcastic.
Speaking of Bones, what was it? I decided to sit down and watch the motion picture, the director's version, the other week again, where they got all the additional effects in it.
Oh god, yeah! I think the very first version of the slow motion picture, people call it, is the director's cut that I saw. I think I almost fell asleep watching that.
Well, what they weirdly named it's called the director's edition, and they basically, once they're inside Vija, is the big difference. You get to see the interior. They rendered it fully.
Yeah, I saw that. It's beautiful, but it just reminds me of that psychedelic scene from 2001, where it just goes on and on and on and on.
No, I mean when the ship actually goes into the center, not when Spock goes through.
No, okay, maybe I'm getting those two mixed up. It's been ages since I saw this cut of it.
It's also cut better. I noticed it's been sort of paced a little better. That version.
Yeah, everything's equally slow.
It's not that bad. The trouble is, I think it is very Star Trek in the sense that there is no big villain.
Like Stanley Kubrick. Okay.
But also the trouble they had was they thought they'd hire Robert Wise, Mr. Day the Earth Stood Still, and all those, man with gravitas, who'd never watched an episode of Star Trek in his life.
Oh God.
Which is why some of the characters don't seem to sort of behave how you'd expect them to.
Yeah, that's what irritates me about Hollywood and how they do things, especially science fiction. Is they'll hand over things to people who are utterly tone deaf. And it's the executives that are already tone deaf, especially with sci-fi. With sci-fi, you need people who love sci-fi behind every single thing that is done. Because because then you'll be able to give it to people who understand it, who love it, who can do it right. And so many movies and projects have basically crashed and burned because Hollywood cared more about dollar bills than it cared about making a good movie, especially a sci-fi movie. A sci-fi movie, because it's already niche, it's a genre that's already niche. You need to make damn sure that that it's a good movie. That it's something that people are gonna love, and something that's going to be able to speak to both the fans and others. Something that is going to bring other people in. And so many times they don't do that. This is why I worry a little bit, like about Wild Space Saga. If our books ever get, really, really popular, and they want to, maybe.
If they ever achieved that dream, and we weren't dead yet. Mm. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just
do you think I would ever let?
Go ahead.
Do anything? Ultimately, they'd probably end up never getting made because stubborn arsehole here won't let them deviate too far.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know you can be very stubborn about your characters, and but that's a good thing.
Well, it's not my characters; it's the universe as a whole. At the end of the day, what we've created is we've created a certain way for a reason. Now, that may not always translate into film, but I know most of it will because I'm a visual person. How I do a lot of things. What I picture in here is what goes on the page, so I know what would then go up there on the screen.
Yeah.
And if they tried to push it too far away from that, the heels will dig.
Now, for me, I understand that some things might not translate well to screen, or may need some extra context, or may even need to be changed for dramatic purposes, or things that make a bit more sense. Like, for instance, okay, there are a lot of fans, butt heads over the ending for Watchmen. If you've ever read the comic, the ending of Watchmen is incredibly convoluted, and it requires having to
I've met Alan Moore. I know what he's like.
Yeah, and it requires having to have read every little bit of that comic, and especially little side parts, before you understand fully what exactly happened. Because there's this little side story involving these people on a ship that doesn't seem to make any sense, doesn't seem to mesh anywhere in with the story. But when you finally get to Ozymandias' final play, and he explains the whole thing, you're like, wait a minute, all that for this? And you realize that as convoluted as it was, if you think about it, it does make sense, but it is just like so out there. But with the movie, they simplified it so much and were able to weave it into everything that had been happening into the story involving Dr. Manhattan.
I have a friend who's a big fan of Watchmen, and even said that what they did in the film was a better idea.
Yeah,
in the sense that it made sense, it fit perfectly, and it just it was neat and tidy.
Yeah, a lot of people just work.
Which you need for a film, really. I mean, it's long enough as it is, that film. Unfortunately, I just can't get into it myself. It doesn't mean it's a bad film. It's just personally. I think the ending really works because I have watched it. I just didn't enjoy it myself.
Oh, I watched it. I read the comics before the movie came out. The movie was on its way, and I saw the trailers, loved the trailers, and I was like, and I'd heard that Watchmen is like one of the best comics ever made. So I went on ahead and bought. They were selling the trade paperback of the entire series, so I went on ahead and bought it. And read it, fell in love, and so I went on ahead and watched the movie, and I freaking loved the movie. So it was incredibly faithful to the source material, and it paced it exactly how I imagined it. And like this, but a lot of people were whining and crying about it when they went to watch it. But I saw that they were incredibly torn between the original ending and the movie ending. And I went to watch.
Is that an irrational Zack Snyder hate thing as well?
Wait, what?
Oh no, it's Zack Snyder. Better hate it.
Oh, Zack Snyder. Yeah, Zack Snyder is. I like his style. The problem is that it doesn't fit for everything, and it seems to be the only style he has. So
sometimes that's what a director is known for.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can't force a director to change their style if that's their style. That's why they make films in that way. That's why they do it. You know,
you notice that some directors have a certain style, but it's something that integrates better into it can integrate well into multiple methods of storytelling. Whereas you have others that just have a particular style and that's just all they go for. Michael Bay comes to mind. And
but Michael Bay isn't looking to win awards. The guy makes action movies
Right,
and blows
right.
shit up.
That's
And I
why
think that's
I
what
don't
people lose sight of when he makes movies sometimes. It's like they're big, dumb, and loud. That's what he does.
Yeah, and that's why I don't mind him. I like that about him. I like is that people whine about Michael Bay, and I'm like, people, you don't get it. Michael Bay is not in there. He's not there to win awards. He's totally cool with just the movies he does. He likes to make movies that are fun, and that's what he does. That's the reason why, for the most part, outside of one movie, I actually enjoyed the Transformers movies. I actually like his style because he's actually an extremely good cinematographer. So.
I mean, I think that the only trouble Transformers, they got more and more bloated with each one, sadly.
I think what happened was that they lost track of what they wanted to do. They didn't have a unifying vision, and so the movie kept.
It was very each film tried to be standalone and linked to the others, and it's like you kind of got to do one or the other.
Yeah, from what I heard, the next movie that they're doing, they're going to be going back to the Michael Bay universe. I'm like, why do that? You had to set up.
I don't think they know what they want to do.
Yeah. I'm like, why? I'm like, I love the way the last one ended, Rise of the Beast, because they were gonna tie in GI Joe to it, and they didn't. I mean,
now that's up in the air and isn't likely to happen. The Michael Bay one is, it is and it isn't. It is then it isn't. Then it is. Who knows?
But taking it back to Wild Space Saga is that that's the thing that I do kind of worry about, with directors and whatnot coming in and wanting to change some things that really don't need to be changed because the studio just thinks that it's going to be cooler and make more money, and they're going to go at it like Rainbow Dash. Oh, make it 30% cooler. These execs that don't know what on God's green earth they're doing.
Well, get that hire in for the virtue signal.
Oh God, no. Well, Hollywood fortunately is stepping away from that for the most part. What you're seeing right now in the current movies is that they already had a lot of movies that in the pipe that still had this crap, and so they have some of them they have to release. They can't they can't just take every single movie that was just poisoned with this stuff and stick it in the vault, and just do a tax write-off. They did that with a few of them, like that Batgirl movie that never hopefully never saw the light of day.
The backlash the pre-release backlash for that was so high. I'm not surprised they did.
Yeah,
I think the trouble is I don't think sometimes it's fair to an actor. Say, I mean, it's a contentious subject sometimes. The big one is when people see someone is race swapped. Ultimately, I find that's just not fair on the actor as well, because you haven't necessarily been picked because you're good in the role. You've been picked to tick a box to try and look good for the studio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not fair on the actor themselves.
I mean, take the Harry Potter movie that's coming up, and
the TV show.
Been a huge amount of time on people, but just the fact that a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people don't like the idea of a black person playing Snape is because when you think about stuff that went on involving Snape, the fact that this actor is going to be black, it's going to look very, very bad.
I mean, but it's like sometimes if an author has done very detailed descriptions of how someone is meant to look, then surely you should find someone who's meant to resemble that.
Yeah, Snape's Snape's character is very strongly tied to his ethnic background too, and also
and he's meant to look like sort of that a creepy wizard, pale vampiric kind of look,
Yeah, he looks like a goth guy who got a little too into it in high school and never quite matured.
And I suppose that's where I would personally have an objection, just because if you we've written our books, we've described our characters specific ways,
Yeah.
They have specific backgrounds and who they are. It's all part of who the character is. To then change that takes something away from the character.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I mean, it would be like making Mabola Slavic instead of African.
Oh God, I would. Yeah, that would break my heart if they wanted to. Well, they probably wouldn't. Even if Hollywood never changed its ways, that they would never want to change Mabala or Neela. They'd be over the moon if they had
it's
black.
It's that same sort of thing, though, isn't it? It's like the extreme of it. You know, it's like Paige. Yeah, okay. She has that wonderfully posh English accent, but actually has Spanish roots. Because the colony, you named it Dorado, I gave it Spanish Portuguese general heritage.
Yeah.
But because she communicates mostly in English, because that's generally what the circle she moves in, she's lost a lot of the accent. But when she's angry, the old Spanish, Hispanic comes out,
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I mean, I could imagine, them changing the ethnicity of some characters. Like, okay, them wanting maybe to make Agent 4 black. That might not change anything. That could actually.
With him, that doesn't really matter because he's meant to be quite an effusive character. You don't know a lot about him or his background, other than he's from Icona.
I mean, well, okay, and like I think what it is that our cast is already going to be kind of diverse enough. I mean, you could take people, for instance, the tanks. You could take someone of any ethnicity and paint them grayish white.
Yeah, and stick some grey makeup on them. Job done. They all look like Chiana.
And Ike is already part Maori, so
Oh yeah, you just get someone from Samoa to play him.
Yeah, hell, The Rock could play him. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, he'll be old enough by then.
Let me see. Yeah, and then, like I said, for my crew, like you already got 2 black girls on there. That, like I said, even if Hollywood had never changed ways, the directors and execs would be over the moon to use our cast because it's already plugged in, so they wouldn't have to worry about people whining about it being woke. So.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it was never a deliberate choice to make people from wherever. They're not live with me. I don't know with yourself. I just like what suits them, what fits them. It's why even Frosty, she's got that sort of Russian Slavic kind of look to her because I just decided that's probably the basis from the tank mother, Aki.
For me, yeah. For me, because up to that point when I was just doing drawings, when Wild Space Saga was each other doodles I'd had in my head, I had been, at that point in my life, I had been drawing so many characters and they all seemed to be white or look white. And really just because my art style was drawn from anime. I wanted
there's not a massive amount of diversity in anime, let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't want to draw black people in anime style. They never quite get it right.
No, the sort of manga features just they cover everything except black features. I would say
they get black girls right. I've seen anime style black girls. They actually do get them right. But black dudes always end up being almost just this side of racist. They draw them. But
the thing is, all they ever draw is skinny white lads or really overly muscled white lads.
Yeah, true. Well, so anyway. I drew when Neela popped in my head. I still have the first drawing I did of her, and it was just she has changed almost not at all from my very first drawing. And then, like with Mabala, when I first drew her, I was just thinking of another member of the crew because we had a very small crew, and I was like, okay, I need to add one more person. And I was like, well, I was on a roll with drawing black characters, and I had not drawn a whole lot of black characters. It was an availability for me to practice on that. Plus, I wanted to give a bit more African style into the thing, so I came up with Mabala, and so I did that, and I did her hair in certain styles that I've seen some elaborate hairstyles that I've seen some African women wear. And a little bit with like the neck, well, not the whole neck ring thing, but just had one little thing took her. And unfortunately, I do draw a lot of girls with that choker necklace. I think it just to me it looks cute. Um, and I also gave her a bit more outrightly African style to her uniform with the color patterns, which have become the bane of my existence every time I try to do a color drawing of her. But oh god, African what you call clothing patterns, it can
Very
be
impressive
to do. They're beautiful, but my god, are they complex. Some of them more complex, not all of them, but many of them.
Oh yeah. That's why I kind of have fun with like the tank characters, because they're this monochromatic look. You can have them originate almost from anywhere in their looks. I mean, with our lovely background tune at the minute, our Indira, which I gave the wonderfully long name Chandrasekhar to, which is me being very geeky because, you know, that's to do with black holes and neutron stars. The Chandrasekhar limit being the maximum mass of a star before it collapses in on itself to form a neutron star.
Right. And the for Indira, and I'm trying to translate her into my style, and I was like, well, her name sounds Indian, so I'm trying to.
It was meant to be. It was deliberately meant to be. Yeah.
So I'm trying to design.
It's not an area I've sort of covered in the naming conventions of the tanks.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to do is draw her in an Indian format, and because I've never really had to draw Indian characters that much. I was looking for somebody because I never had to draw Indian characters that much. It's still a style that I have to try to figure out. There's actually
for a bit of context for people. Indira is a character who you'll soon be. There's an upcoming music project. You may be hearing the dulcet tones of her particular lore song floating in the background here. Who's the bodyguard of Alexa, the pirate queen. There is actually a post on YouTube I've put in the posts that actually has a few pictures of her that I've recently rendered. So if you want to see a bit more of her. And she's another 6 foot tall ground tank commander. Her entire unit basically abandoned on a dying ship, and she's gone, well, we're leaving. Sod the Imperium, we're going elsewhere, and they ended up on the pirate worlds.
Right. She as speaking of units, she is an absolute unit. This girl just looks like somebody. She's more intimidating looking than Maria. If you ask me.
She's older. She's older than the likes of Maria in that she's a very seasoned commander. That's the whole point. She would have been sort of colonel general sort of level. You know, never a need to apologise, Finn, especially when we throw one in midweek on you, mate.
There we are. I sent him a message, on Discord asking if he was on his way. I wasn't quite sure. Hey, it's okay, man. It's not,
we found enough bullshit to talk for half an hour as it is, so.
It's never late nor is he early. He arrives exactly when and where he's supposed to, and you have arrived exactly when and where you are supposed to, because you are here with us.
Yeah, our one viewer, and we love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we get other viewers after the fact, so we're glad about that.
I know. It's our one live viewer. We cling to him like like Gollum clings to the ring.
Whether with
the
us
one
or
ring, not that ring.
Yeah, whether with us right now or later, we value any of our viewers. I mean, it is our hope that we get more people in, because I'm actually surprised that some of the people who follow us on DeviantArt, aren't actually kind of joining us from time to time, because I would think that they would have the most questions to ask. We have started getting a lot of people, coming in on DeviantArt, enjoying our artwork. Maybe it's just more of an art people and not a book people. So we need to find a way to get that to mesh. Excuse me.
Maybe I upset them all by using my AI programs, for images and music, and it's like, well, tough. It's my creative outlet. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, some people do have that. Good grief! Got 50 frogs in my throat. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of disappointing that AI, sets so many people off in such a massive way that they can really love your they can really love your artwork, but then when you start using AI for anything, suddenly they'll abandon you. Even if you're only using it for kicks and giggles and not really trying to pass it off as your own work, because doing stuff that's just trying to get certain things around because it looks really professional.
By the art direction, are you talking about the feet thing, Finn?
Wait, what new art direct? Oh, that feet thing. Yeah, yeah, you missed it.
He knows exactly what I think about it.
I mentioned that earlier on in the live stream. I was talking about a computer glitch that almost caused me to lose that picture that I shared with you on Discord. So
never mind it being Anthro, it's feet war. Anyway.
I think we need to share this with the. You see, DeviantArt, they don't call it DeviantArt for nothing.
I know.
Some people have some very strange proclivities, let's just say. And a long time ago, it was just a black and white sketch that I think I just inked. Yeah. And it was two characters.
A dreaded foot massage picture, yes.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you, you're jumping to the.
Yeah, but you do most of the talking, so I'm just getting in a bit as well.
Okay.
This is a double act,
All right. Well, anyway, so what happened is
so now I'm going to talk over you for the fun of it because it'll annoy you.
Did a story called Her Hand in Mine and by an alien girl and a human guy. And after the story, they end up together with a child. And so I just drew that really nice pic of her. She's pregnant, but she's getting her feet massaged by her life mate. It was a picture that was I was inspired by a moment from the anime Wolf Children. And so I drew the picture and posted on our DeviantArt. For years and years, it was our highest viewed picture. And I'm like, why? Because you had mentioned that. Because you were like, hey, Brandon, did you know that your foot drawings are our highest viewed picture? And foot massage drawings were like, I was like, wait, seriously? And I looked, we had brought up our statistics. You can do that on DeviantArt. And I was like, what in the world? I was like, this thing got like much higher than anything we've been posting. And this was back before we even started using digital artwork, And I was like, why is this, ranking so high? It wasn't even all that good a picture, compared to stuff I've done, even at the time. And you said, oh, I know why. I was like, why? It's the feet. And I just remembered how DeviantArt people can sometimes be, and I was like, oh yeah, it crossed two feet, people, and furries. And I was like, oh no. And so when I wanted our friend here, Finn, he was the one who kind of would talk me into changing the feet for the Fellions. That was the reason that I posted that thing recently. But would you rather the human feet or the animal feet? And then you were like, Brandon, why did you do that? You're gonna do the foot thing again. I was like,
it's gonna draw in the foot crowd again.
Yeah.
Not that I've got any problem with people who like that. I just don't do feet, so I see that and go, just no.
Yeah, I'm not a foot person either. That's one of those things that I'm just like, why? But people like
whatever you're into. But it's just like, no. There's a reason why most of my characters are drawn with shoes on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, people think with that, and I was just, it just didn't hit me when I did that drawing again. I was like, oh yeah. I mean, you better be thankful for this, Terry, because I did another one right before I did that drawing. I was just practicing drawing the feet, like human feet, and then the anthro feet, and it's just nothing but like multiple pictures of feet from different angles, both human and.
Imagine if you'd posted that one.
I'm glad I
you could have monetized that. I'm actually disappointed in you.
I thought.
I mean, that one could have made our careers.
Oh, hardy, har.
Yes. Step away from very quickly. I mean, I've got another reason to hate feet. Don't remember, I've only just recovered from the Achilles injury, so
Oh God. Yeah. So that's just the story of that. because I just
believe
man,
it.
I'm seriously, man. When you told me about that, about the foot thing, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I think I had my drawing tablet in front of me, and I've turned it back to that page, and I was like, oh crap, I dodged a bullet.
I mean, it's the fact you titled it foot massage as well, and it was like, it's like, oh no, that's going to come up in all their search terms. And then they go feet. That's my imagination now. They all go hee.
I mean, to this day, we still get people.
Which they probably don't, but my mind goes there, and you're like, they're all like Gollum, but clasping like someone's foot.
Yeah. To this day, we still get people who like that image. I'm like, oh, there's another one. There's another one. And it's actually come a little bit.
You're lucky I never took him down. I was tempted.
Well, it wouldn't have bothered me if you had.
Ultimately, though, I know your intent with it wasn't that. So but it was like at the time I was like, oh, I want to take it down. It offends my sight. Yeah.
I was like, geez, I was just trying to draw a sweet moment. Good grief.
Oh, you drew a sweet moment, all right. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's the story of that. It's fortunately, I don't.
It's quite funny now we look back at it. To be fair,
yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had anything has been that much of a draw. For
those, a much more emotional character back then as well. So with Brandon, I was like, "Don't you get it? Don't you get it? Look at the kind of crowd you're going to attract."
There are stories of artists whose art gets misunderstood like that, and they do crash out on online, over that kind of thing. There used to be a guy called Andrew Dobson who did this art. He did this thing called "So You're a Cartoonist," and people misunderstood some of his art sometimes, but also they made fun. He became a lolcow because simply he doesn't know how to take criticism, and so anytime anybody ever criticizes his art, he just lose it, and just try. He makes fun of you in his art, for daring to criticize his work. So,
to be fair, when looking at Finn's fun fact about DS9, the ears were better because it made more sense for the Ferengi with their massive ears, didn't it? And it was just more amusing watching someone, win them over. I'll just rub your ears for a minute. Oh, you'll do anything I want.
Oh God, the Bajorans they almost made the Bajorans having a foot thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ferengi with the ears, it made sense. You're right. I mean,
yeah, and it was also used to be quite comedic, wasn't it? Where Quark would dig his heels in, and then the sexy villain lady would just rub his ears, and suddenly he'll do whatever she wants.
Oh, no one is giving me umaks like this. Umaks? It has no translation, but our earlobe is one of our erogenous zones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Lwaxana Troy, and she almost was like, but she just kept doing it because it was making him happy, and he would do whatever she wanted. So. Oh God. Yeah, that was actually kind of funny. Oh Lord. What is it? Rule 32. Yeah, somewhere out there, I'm pretty sure there are pictures of Ferengi.
Yeah, Rule 34. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was
Rule 34, isn't it? Yeah. If you can imagine it, then there's probably porn of it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I never go, looking for that kind of thing. So
you don't have to go looking for it. It's just
I know sometimes
it appears.
Yeah, it just sometimes finds you. I'm not looking for trouble. There may be trouble looking for you. But anyway, yeah, good God. Yeah, fortunately, like I said, we haven't had that kind of thing happen to us yet. Our stuff probably attracts the furries, but that's sort of kind of intentional.
Yeah, on your part.
Yeah, my part. But I mean, otherwise, people who dare, fortunately, we do have a lot of people who genuinely love our work when it comes to just Wild Space Saga in general, and that's what we're trying to draw, for our stories, and it's just it's such an amazing, diverse world, and you kind of missed it, Finn, but one of the things that we were talking about,
back.
Huh?
You can always watch it back.
Yeah, of course, the pacing girl. That's a
The
cat girl from the Star Trek animated series.
Yeah, I thought the name was familiar. Funnily enough,
Oh, what is he about?
no, I have the animated series.
Yeah.
I got the whole bloody lot. You should know that.
He was telling me about like his favorite, his favorite Star Trek series, all the way from the original series up to Enterprise, I think. And but I think didn't you say that the animated series was your least favorite? Oh wait, no, I think it was Enterprise that was your least favorite, wasn't it?
See, I struggled with Enterprise, but
Oh,
Voyager, I just never could.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Enterprise, they looks like the next Star Trek series that they're trying to get in is a series that we talked about called Star Trek United, which is supposed to continue off of Enterprise, but take place like some 20 years later with Archer being the head of the Federation. And but he has PTSD from the Romulan War, so we'll probably be seeing like flashbacks and things like that from what went on, because the series ended. The next season was supposed to have been about the Romulan War, the TAS.
The animated series.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
To be fair, it was done. It was done on a shoestring, even more of a shoestring than the actual original series. It was really literally just a grab to try and cash in on Star Trek nostalgia.
Yeah, but because it was an animated series, they could do things with it that they couldn't do with the original series. They since it was just animated, they the visual, it wasn't visual effects, so you were just able to do things that were a lot more realistic looking. So just because it was animated, fit in much better with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a few episodes. They used to air it on Nickelodeon back when I was a kid. So.
Oh, it wasn't great. No, by any stretch of the imagination. The main draw was having the original cast voicing their characters.
Wasn't there one person who didn't want to voice their character, and that's the reason why they added the cat girl?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wasn't Nichelle Nichols? She didn't want to voice. She didn't want to voice Uhura in the series.
It might be. I don't remember Uhura was in it occasionally, though.
She was in it. Well, I know that they added the cat because it was a member of the original cast that didn't want to voice their own character, and then so they added that one crew member or something like that. I have to go back.
There's no cast list in here. Otherwise, I would have had a look for you.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping that the Star Trek United thing will end up happening, because I felt robbed when dude. I mean, the news of Enterprise being canceled was the only time I cried about the cancellation of a series. Okay, because I was like, no, man. I was like, it was getting so good. Oh man, especially after the Delta Expanse storyline. Oh man, that was so cool. But what I was trying to tell Finn was that so you kind of missed what we were talking about earlier when we were saying how if Hollywood were ever to make a story out of Wild Space Saga, that movie out of Wild Space Saga, that
I just had a little look up. It was Chekhov who wasn't in it, and it's because they couldn't afford him.
Really?
They used all the budget up on getting everyone else back. They had none left to get Chekhov in.
Oh yeah, they probably did have to pay a lot of money to get all the rest of the original cast.
Yeah, which meant they didn't give him a call. Didn't have any money left.
Walter Keating was the only holdout. Just grief. He was. I mean, he was kind of like the whipping boy of the Enterprise.
It wasn't even. It was a holdout. From what I'm reading here, they didn't even bother to call him.
Oh, okay. Now that's just insulting. Jeez. I'm kind of wondering if he has any raw feelings about that, because Walter Keating's a really good actor. I mean, God, you ever watched Babylon 5?
I've met him.
What?
I've met him. It's a lovely man.
Did you? Well, you probably didn't know about that at the time, did you?
What?
The thing about him not being being chosen, not being called about, the
No, I knew like you. I knew there was somebody missing from it, but I couldn't remember who it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I was really nervous meeting him, and it was like, and he just started chatting to me about ordinary things, like what do you do for a living, blah blah blah. So just getting me, because I was well anxious, and he just brought me all down, just having a nice chat with me, and then signed me thing. I actually got the one of Bester. It's on the wall actually behind us.
That's cool.
And he talked about that because he enjoyed that role, saying, it's so completely different to Star Trek, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he wanted to play a villain, and so
yeah, well, he isn't a villain. He just sees telepaths as entirely superior and the next evolution step, doesn't he? So as far as he's concerned, normal humans or mundanes.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you watch Babylon 5, you realize that telepaths were the next stage in human evolution. So there you go.
Yeah. And so as far as he was concerned, you're all obsolete, so I'm going to protect my own. So he wasn't a villain. It's more, I think, he just didn't care about normal humans, did he? He's just brutal like that.
Well, yeah, he was also evil. I mean, he was willing to do anything for his agenda.
Yeah.
What he did to Garibaldi, I mean, that episode where Garibaldi went into that trance and was on that train, and then you had Bester step in and basically just explain his whole thing with Garibaldi in that trance and unable to do anything about it. And then he ends up leaving, and then Garibaldi just loses his what, and I was, oh man, that even made me pissed. I wanted to punch through the TV after seeing that.
That's what I mean. That's why I say, in TV way he is a villain, but you can understand a person like that, not necessarily sympathise with him. You understand the motives. It's all about protecting my own, sod the rest of you. Yeah,
in his mind, human race was the telepaths were the next step in human evolution. Like, his mentality was Magneto. Well, the future Charles, don't them. They're no longer matter.
Yeah. So as far as you're concerned, I'm going to use you to further my ends, and I don't care what happens to you. It's brutal. It's horrible. It is evil in a way. But as far as he's concerned, he justifies his actions.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you could.
That's why I like the character, because he's in no way. Yeah, he's reprehensible. But in another way, if you sit there and you sit in the logic in his head, it makes that weird sense. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
doesn't mean it's good. It's just.
Okay, Bester wasn't a sympathetic villain. Bester was basically Space Hitler, but with Magneto, he was Magneto was more of a sympathetic villain, because you could see what he had been through as a child.
What he suffered would always color his vision, his judgment.
Yeah, he became the very in trying to protect his own. He became the very thing he hated. He was a very complex character, and so you both could love and hate him at the same time. So
you sort of understand, isn't it? I suppose it's not necessarily you don't have to like someone to understand them. I suppose is the way I'd describe it. And even then, even in understanding them, it doesn't mean you condone their behaviour.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love the sympathetic villain, because you get a chance to look. If they're done right, you get a chance to look into their head, and you can see why they do the things right. That's the reason why I liked Killmonger from Black Panther. You could understand why he was doing what he was doing, and when you look at it, you realize, he kind of ain't wrong either. T'Chaka did him dirty.
It's sort of the execution of your plan is questionable, but I understand your logic.
Yeah, he had a very good reason to hate the royal family. When it comes to like Killmonger. So there's a series of books that I've read called the Saga of the Seven Sons, and there's the main villain in the first story arc, the Saga of the Seven Sons. It's Saga of Shadows, which is the sequel series to it. But in the Saga of the Seven Sons, one of the main villains is a guy called Basil Wenceslas. He's the president of the Terran Hanseatic League, which is the big Earth government of the interplanetary government. And when the Hydrogues, which are one of the other main alien villains in the stories, basically started laying waste to human colonies, you can tell he's trying to do what he needs to do to keep the human race together, but he's doing it all wrong. But because he is a complete narcissist, he's every single time he screws up and does something wrong, he never wants to admit that it was his fault. And the books actually get into his head about that, where he is constantly trying to defend himself, constantly trying to obfuscate everything like that, even unto the very end where he's betrayed by one of his own and knifed in the back. he's ranting and raving about how disappointed he is with everybody, even though their way is actually succeeding and his way constantly failed. And his last words were disappointed. So yeah, I love that villain because Kevin J. Anderson, the author of that series, really got into his head. You could totally understand why he was the way he was, how he saw himself as the good guy, and it was just a constant cycle of lying to himself because he just lacked the ability to admit that he was wrong.
I mean, we do have some future characters coming up like that actually in our stuff, because I do some basic roadmaps for the upcoming books, just to give me and Brandon something to work with and something for him to argue with me about when I say, well, I got this idea for a great plot line, so I put it in the next book. And he goes, really? You didn't even talk to me about it? I said, I know. But then you fly by the seat of your pants, so we're fine. I could totally make that story arc for Father Muldoon, with him being that much of a narcissist. It's like we still have, we've got a load of these sort of tank characters who've escaped the Imperium, but I've got more upcoming who are still very much a part of it. And obviously they see what they're doing, not as aggressive expansion, but they are fulfilling their role. They are doing the will of the Imperium.
Yeah, and the Imperium justifies its actions as trying to, trying to. They understand the danger that lies ahead. To kind of give it as spoiler free as possible, and are trying to unite the human race to make a united front against its enemy.
It's just their way of going about it is all a bit aggressive.
Yeah, really aggressive, but they're doing what they feel they need to do. So.
I suppose one of the characters is the one we've mentioned before, Snow, who's in book 3. She's a sniper for the Second Imperium, but she works on her own. She works for the ISID, and she infiltrates into even Alliance space. Now, she's met some of our characters before, and she does question the motives of her government now, but the fact is she still knows that there's plenty of innocent people within the Imperium that need protecting.
Tanks are capable of independent thought, but it's just
so she now continues to serve the Imperium on her terms without telling the bosses, that her mind is maybe not in the same indoctrinated form it used to be, but she knows that there's plenty of innocent people on both sides that still need protecting. So she continues to do her job, knowing that it still keeps those people safe.
Okay, saying I've seen a female Felian tank depicted. I don't think I've ever done that, because tanks are all human. There are some characters who are hybrids, and even tertiaries that were born from tanks, but no tanks are Felian.
If they're of a grey colour, that might be the confusion, because all tanks are obviously monochrome. With the most colour they have is in their eyes, let's be honest.
Who's Sino Hayal or Sino Hayal?
I don't know. Sniper-wise, probably...
Wait, is that the... Hang on, I think I know what he's talking about. Okay, no, maybe not. Okay, no, I don't see anything like that. But who is this Sino Hayal person, Finn? Well, he pops up with something.
The Finnish sniper. Yeah, got him now.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
it's a bit of a spelling error, but I've got him now, yeah. Simo Hayar. It's how you pronounce it, yeah.
All right, yeah, it's okay. So it is the person I was thinking of. That sniper,
the White Death. Yeah, I remember him.
Oh yeah, that dude. That dude.
She probably knows all about him.
That dude was living death. Oh my god.
The fun thing with Snow is she's very meticulous as well. So, she spends her time on her ship, just reading a lot of it, studying, and then our character Agent 4 tries to get her to expand her pop culture horizons by suggesting bands for her to listen to. So she has a penchant for Queen. Her ship, the Hammerfall, is actually named after, obviously, the song "Hammer to Fall."
Ah. Oh, speaking of snipers, who do you think would be better? Who do you think would beat who in a sniping competition? Snow or Miranda?
Miranda.
Okay, yeah, Miranda being autistic, she probably can.
It's not just that, but she's just objectively better.
Ah.
There's a reason why she's revered in tank circles, even though she defected.
Yeah, there's like
she's always very good at what she does.
There's this one scene in and I guess we can give this away. There's this one scene in our book, Twisted Fate, where I have Zerx kind of being a bit of a sitting duck out in these docks on Haven, and then he gets attacked by a bunch of not Imperials, a bunch of raiders, and what's her face? Miranda gets she notices it first, and then she's just like Braska, run. He doesn't even question it. He doesn't see anything. He just starts running. And you see these guys start coming out of the woodwork, coming after him, and she's just taking pot shots out of him. They all yell, "Sniper!" And then she clears a path for him to get back to the Reckless. It is one of the crazier parts of the book.
And then she'll just calmly pack her stuff up and head back to the ship.
Yep,
like it's nothing.
Yeah, her voice, even on the comms, is just so deathly calm. Even if everybody's in the middle of a big hairball.
Because that's her thing, her function. That's her element. So she gets on with it.
Oh yeah. So for those of y'all who want to get that book, it is coming in May. Once May hits, I'm gonna have to do the specific date.
Quite simply, buy our shit.
Yeah. Please.
Especially the first two. We rewrote them and made them longer and vastly better. And we want people to enjoy the extra work that's gone into it.
Yeah, we really worked hard on those books. They are available as ebooks right now.
We desperately want to share it with you. We also want money.
The publishers kind of ran into an issue getting the hardcovers out. No, not hardcovers. Hard copies out right now, but we do have them available already as ebooks. Go ahead and check them out. And we
just want you to enjoy our world now that we've created it. Read it, love it, tell us what you think of it. That includes on the channel here with all my cheesy songs. I would love to for people to pop, even if you don't like it, stick a comment on there. It all helps with the visibility, helps push everything, and it also gives me an idea of what people really think of what I'm throwing out there. Rather than I'm worried that I'm just throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. And it's like, if people are actually really enjoying this, I'd love to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And what you think and what your feedback of the tunes are.
And we're going to have a whole lot more coming out down the pipe. We already got some things prepped. Come join us. As I've said before, you can follow us on X under Wild Space Saga. Follow us on Instagram. Same thing, Wild Space Saga, but it's spelled SPAICE Saga. And we have the links down in the doobly-doo. We have the links to the books down in the doobly-doo. Everything down there in the doobly-doo. And so on that note, everyone, I believe...
I do promise, Lord Diving with Pip is coming. I'm just still getting over my frustration with the video editor crashing on me.
Hey, no worries, man. I know what it's like to get into a funk like that. And so on that note, guys, we thank you for watching us on today's Wild Space Saga Wildcast. We will be back this Saturday at 3 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll have some notifications out for y'all on the interwebs. Follow us on our social medias, like we told you. And so until next time, this is
just keep an eye out for Indira's theme when it drops.
Oh yeah, and that too. And so until next time, guys, this is Brandon Hill and Terry and Terrence Vegas and Terry the mildly irritated. Signing off, telling you thank you, and hope you'll join us again and follow us on the Northwest Passage.
Oh, don't worry, Finn. You know, like I said, this was a midweek jump on because we missed Saturday. So if you couldn't make it, we'd have understood anyway. So it's been here for half an hour. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And so until next time, everybody, take care. See you Saturday.